officially just say welcome everyone to the first town hall meeting. This is the first one of 6 that we're going to have across the city. So again, I would just like to just be the first one to just say welcome before I turn this mic over to Milton Lee. Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I said good evening, everyone. All right, let me know you're here. We want to also welcome you to our first of several town hall meetings. And we have a lot of exciting information about the city of East Chicago that we want to get out to you. And as we get started, we're going to have presenters that come up and tell you about the departments and resources and products, I'll call, that we deliver to you as residents. I want to set up just a few of the ground rules so we can be respectful of everyone's time and allow us to get to our program along with the question and answer. First of all, this is a non-smoking facility, so if you want to take a smoke or something like that, we ask that you just quietly step outside and then have your smoke and then come on back in, be as disruptive, not disruptive as you can be. The next thing is that I think the bathrooms are located in the back over here, if you need to use the restroom. And we would ask, this is very important, that you would hold all of your questions until the end. We have a lot of material to get through, but you will have ample opportunity. We are not going to just run out of here when this is over. We'll be at all the stations. You can get one-on-one, so hold all of your questions. We'll have a brief question and answer period as well. So we ask you to be respectful in that way. What I also want to do is, before we go any further, I want to acknowledge any of our elected officials that are with us today outside of Mayor Copeland. Can you please stand and raise your hands so we give you a round? Let's give Councilman Lynn Francisci, a very strong supporter and advocate of this district, and we're glad to see you here. Definitely. So, without going too much further, my job is just to keep us moving, and that's what I intend to do. We have a time schedule. We're going to stick to that schedule because we know people have a lot of other obligations. So I think we have a few more opening comments from, let's give them a hand as it comes, Mayor Anthony Copeland.
Thank you very much. As you can see to the left and to the right of me, is my team. I tell everybody there's no I in team for a reason. I would love to just say I do this, I do this, I do this, but that's not true. I am pleased with a lot of things that we've been able to accomplish. I've been your mayor for 7 years, and it seemed like it's 49 years. It seemed like did it in dog years. 1 year seemed to be 7 years. But it's a job that I love. I'm pleased with the path and the direction that we're going in. I hope that you got an opportunity to look at some of the posters and see things coming soon, and also things that we have accomplished. And one of the things I'm most proud of, when I started as your mayor, we were $15 million in debt. And Francisci can attest to those were some rough, turbulent times for us. But now one of the things I can safely say that the city is in the black now. We now have a $10 million surplus, and you will see us leverage. You will see us leverage those dollars against state and federal dollars and get the bang for our buck. So again, I'm not going to slow things down. We're going to start with our first presenter, who will be the fire chief, Tony Cerner.
Thank you, Mayor Copeland. Good evening, everybody. My name is Anthony Cerner, Fire Chief of the City of East Chicago. I'm joined this evening by my Deputy Chief, Damon Carpenter, there at our table. I want to take you on a brief look back in history so we can sharpen our focus on the present. East Chicago was incorporated as a city in 1893, and as a matter of fact, we're celebrating our 125th year anniversary this year. One of the first orders of business carried out by our founding fathers was the formation of a volunteer fire department. A number of years later, the merging of the volunteer brigades from the Indiana Harbor side and the East Chicago side of the city established a paid professional fire department. Since 1906, the East Chicago Fire Department continues to stand by the motto that's emblazoned on our shoulder patches, which is to save lives and protect property. Now let's fast forward to the 21st century. Since 2010, with Mayor Anthony Copeland as the financial guardian of the City of East Chicago, the fire department has totally replaced its entire collection of aging firefighting apparatus with Northwest Indiana's most modern fleet of frontline attack pumpers and aerial apparatus. In 2014, the fire department purchased a new attack pumper. In 2015, another new attack pumper. In 2016, we purchased 2 new attack pumpers, and in 2017, we took delivery of a 100-foot aerial platform. Additionally, we're set to take delivery of a $500,000 heavy-duty rescue this spring. That's a total investment of over $3.5 million over 5 years in just apparatus alone. The East Chicago Fire Department is here to keep you safe, not only with leading-edge equipment, but also with an allocated fire force of 76 highly trained firefighters. We're currently in the process of hiring and filling out our roster with 14 new recruits. Our firefighters possess certifications with the state of Indiana, Department of Homeland Security, and Board of Firefighting Personnel Standards and Education in areas such as fire officer strategy and tactics, driver operator pumper and aerial, technical rescue awareness and operations, and hazmat awareness and operations, just to name a few. East Chicago Fire Department firefighters are also trained to deliver basic life support, non-transport care to our citizens. At the insistence of Mayor Anthony Copeland, every sworn firefighter since 2014 must become a State of Indiana certified emergency medical technician within their first year of service and maintain that certification throughout their career. Bringing together the East Chicago Fire Department's commitment of firefighter EMTs with our BLS non-transport level of care provided across 4 fire engines and our heavy-duty rescue, include that with our new 911 service provider, Superior Ambulance, which is here with me this evening, Ken Sink, Director of Risk and Safety, and Jeff Collins, General Manager of Superior, Indiana. They're our contracted 911 ambulance provider. They provide 3 ambulances housed in East Chicago, and this results in East Chicago residents receiving the greatest amount of emergency medical services care possible every single day. Another way that the East Chicago Fire Department keeps the city safe is through outreach and public education. As you can see by the pictures that I have here on my board, we are committed to educating our community on fire prevention and life safety. Under the direction of Chief Inspector Henry Ventura, we visit East Chicago schools and we host an annual open house where thousands of residents have attended over the years to learn about fire safety and receive information and services from different public safety agencies. In the pictures that I have here, you will see ATF agent Jeffrey Marshall and his partner Zelda from last year's open house. Our very own East Chicago Health Department has also participated in every open house that we've held. And as a matter of fact, in 2017, the Health Department offered free flu shots and blood pressure checks. Finally, the East Chicago Fire Department keeps the city safe with services we provide beyond 911 response, fire prevention, risk management. In partnership with the Red Cross, we're pleased to announce the Home Fire Campaign for East Chicago. The Home Fire Campaign helps save lives by installing free smoke detectors in homes that don't have them and by educating people about fire safety. Every day, 7 people die in home fires, most in homes that lack working smoke alarms. Sadly, children and the elderly disproportionately lose their lives. The American Red Cross wants to improve those odds and save lives, and that's why they launched the Home Fire Campaign in 2014 and are partnering with us this year. This is a great opportunity to increase the safety of the citizens of East Chicago and will be available to all residents of East Chicago. See my Deputy Chief Damon Carpenter at our table for further information about how to sign up for your free smoke alarm install today. For the past 112 years, the East Chicago Fire Department has served its citizens with honor and pride. Every day, both line and staff firefighters stand by the motto that's on our shoulder patch, which is to save lives and protect property. Under the direction of Mayor Anthony Copeland and the efforts of the dedicated professionals of the East Chicago Fire Department, we are keeping East Chicago safe today and for the future. If you have any questions or would like further information on any of our outreach programs or services, please see myself or my Deputy Chief at our table. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. I want to break right now, and this is a special introduction because the mayor has a lot of responsibility, always needs to have a right hand. His right hand person, I would like to call her up to talk about I Love My City campaign. Let's give a warm welcome for our Chief of Staff, Sergeant.
Thank you, Milton. Sandra Favela, Chief of Staff. I work in the Mayor's office, and yes, I'd like to share this great thing that we have going on throughout the city is I Love My City. This poster we would like to see throughout your homes or businesses to show the pride of you loving your city, the city of East Chicago. Mayor Anthony Copeland would invite all the students of East Chicago to participate and join an art contest that represents the reason why they love East Chicago. The student must be an East Chicago resident, must be in school, and their artwork should be 11 by 17. We have a student who drew a picture already. Here's one, and she's actually in the audience. If you can stand up. Thank you so much for drawing this picture. So the reason why she loves East Chicago is she loves to go to the beach. So as you can see the sand and the nice sun clear. Thank you for the artwork, and we look forward to seeing so many more. So we're doing this from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. So I advise all of you to go share with your family and friends and let them know about this great thing, because we would like to put this in on the buses, throughout City Hall, and other public facilities that we have, and show the pride why we love East Chicago. The deadline for these is February 26th, and then we'll have several judges looking at the pictures, and we hope to announce those winners on March 2nd. There will be a first, second, and third prize, as well as a big final champion winner. So we will have gifts for those who win, ribbons, and we also have in the table over here, the City of East Chicago table in the blue cloth, is bumper stickers. So you'll see some of the city vehicles have this sticker, because all of us here in front are very proud of the City of East Chicago. We hope that residents also show your pride, the why that you love East Chicago, by putting it on your car, window, wherever you like. If you have any questions, I'll be around. Any concerns or compliments, comments, feel free to share it with me, and I relay the message to Mayor. Thank you.
I know with a drawing like that, I think the competition is going to be very stiff, right? Thank you so much. I think that was Abigail, right? Beautiful picture. So now, you know, in our city, one thing that relates to everyone, you know, we're going to talk about how clean we are, we're going to talk about the programs, but everyone in here has a direct relationship of public safety. And so with that being said, I'd like for us to give an applause for our police chief, Chief Frank Smith. He tells us about the things that happen in our community.
Thank you, Milton. Good evening. My name is Frank Smith, Chief of Police here in the City of East Chicago. One of the things I'd like for you guys to do is just take a moment and look at this board that we put together. For 6 years in a row, crime has went down, down, down in the City of East Chicago, and I have to applaud for its efforts with the police department. First of all, let me tell you, what we're doing is that we're asking officers to be more proactive, meaning they're not sitting around waiting to get calls or being reactive. They are going ahead and initiating things. It's nice to see Lieutenant Rivera, who's out there in the audience today. He's one of my lieutenants who's out there, keeps after his man to try to make the city safe. You know why? He lives here, just like I do. I can't say enough about that. We're still a group of us that live in the city. We truly care and dedicated and committed to solving crime and working with the residents within the city, okay? Secondly, we have a crime analyst, which is Mr. Daniel Ortiz. He gathers all the evidence, all the facts, everything that he can get, and he puts it all together, and he gives us a meeting, a brief, say, this is what's going on in this area. This is what's happening in Roxana. This is what's happening off of Main Street. We take that and we give that to our patrol officers. Lieutenant Rivera, along with other ones, they put that information out, and those are the things that are driving crime down within the city of East Chicago. The second thing is the information. The information that we receive, which is from you residents, we can't thank you enough. Your phone calls, your letters, the tip line, 391-8500. That information keeps being funneled in, and that is what's helping make our community. It's not me, it's you. It's the folks of East Chicago that's making East Chicago. One of the things that I like to say now that's going on across the world is that if you see something, say something. Do not wait for someone else to call. Do not wait for that person to say, well, I said, no. You do it yourself. Make our residents better because of you, not because of an individual. You live here, you care about this community, you get involved. That's what I'm asking all the residents of East Chicago. The next point I want to touch on is the equipment. Mayor Copeland has funneled so much resources in the police department, it's unbelievable. We started with our shot spotter system, which basically gunfire goes off in the city, it detects a time, a place, a street, which helps officers to go to that scene. We don't have to wait like we used to. If we heard gunshot, we'd have to try to figure it out. No more. That technology has been given to us, and it is a great tool. One of the things I love, there's an app on our phone. It'll go off on our phone sometimes faster in the car, and we already know where to go. So that's just part of a small piece of equipment that we've got in order to help our job be better. Another thing is we've just recently got license plate readers. We're not worried about a ton of traffic stop because we have a mechanism that's out there as these vehicles going by. It's checking plates. It's running individuals. We're ahead of the times, guys. Right here in the little city of East Chicago, and most people don't know it. I look at Chicago, Illinois, and they say, well, they're getting this, they're getting that. That's great. City of East Chicago already has it, folks. And those are the things that are driving down crime in the city of East Chicago. We're not waiting. We're leading the forefront when it comes to technology. We're moving ahead. We're not moving backwards. We're continuing to progress, and that's what we want to do, okay? The other thing I'd just like to touch on briefly is cameras. Cameras are crucial. I don't want to give too much out, but I can tell you, our camera system has just solved a major crime in the city of East Chicago. Caught the whole thing on tape. You cannot beat the camera system that we put in. It's amazing. I wish we could have time to show you one day, bring you down and invite you. Last but not least, what I'd like to also let you know is that we are hiring. We're in the process of getting 7 new officers in another 2 or 3 months on the streets. We have 2 officers are in the academy, and we have 22 going through the process right now. So hopefully we're going to just continue to get those numbers up and drive crime down even further. That is the goal of the East Chicago Police Department. Last but not least, I'd like to invite you all to our Citizens Academy. We have a Citizens Academy where you can interact with the police. You can go on ride-alongs. We will teach you a little bit about the law. It is a fabulous program. I wish more citizens would get involved so you can understand what we do, why we do, and how we do it. That is one of the crucial things that's going to bridge the gap between this community of East Chicago and the police department. So right now with that, I'd like to just thank you all. If you have any other questions at the end of this presentation, I'll be around to answer any questions, concerns, or anything that you may have. Thank you so much, folks, and God bless you all.
Truly, hope in progress. Thank you for that report out. Okay, and now we will have, again, our health department, and I think a lot of us don't know the things and resources that we have right here in East Chicago that we just go somewhere else maybe to get. So if we can give a hand and an ear to our health department director, Anita Folks. Let's give it.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Wilson, for that. My name, of course, again, is Arnita. We are located at 100 West Chicago Avenue in the Healthy East Chicago building, and we're also known as the Department of Public Health and Environmental. So whenever you see that, we just abbreviate it as the Health Department. Our health officer is Dr. Browning. He is in every other Wednesday. He keeps up with everything that's going on medically for us, and he oversees a lot of things that we do. The East Chicago is one of only 2 cities statewide in Indiana that continues to operate and manage a local health department for its residents. We are dedicated to public health and educating our citizens on everything from blood pressure, glucose, lead testing. We do management of lead testing as well. To give you a little bit more information, the health department is made up of 6 divisions, and I'll explain and give you a few examples of the services that we offer. Animal control is a division that we have. It's a no-kill facility. You will see them driving around. They specialize in domestic stray animals, in controlling them. Registration enforcement. Vector control, which is the mosquito spraying that you see during Memorial Day through Labor Day time. You'll see them riding around with their trucks. Removal of deceased animals, meaning roadkill. You'll see those, not your private pets. We don't remove those, but definitely roadkill that you may see in the street sidewalks that you see on the city properties. We also do trapping of raccoons and squirrels. We are the only health department in northwest and central Indiana that operates an animal control. Another division that we have is emergency preparedness. That provides disaster readiness. Residents can volunteer for drills, other activities to promote readiness if there's ever a natural disaster or any other form of disaster that's threatening our community. Vital Records handles all of East Chicago death and birth records. We also offer paternity affidavits and amendments. Those are done pretty much by appointment only, but you can walk in at any time. We have our hours, I have over to the side at the table, of what hours we work Monday through Friday. Our immunization division offers all childhood immunizations, ranging from 2 months of age to 18 years of age. We also do international vaccines. One of our bigger divisions is our inspection division. It handles all retail and environmental inspections. That includes food service establishments, temporary vendors, hotels, gas stations, also lakefront, beaches, housing standards, and nuisance complaints. East Chicago, and I want to clap for this, we have the only FDA food standardized inspection officer in Northwest Indiana. So that means your eating is being done properly. Lastly, I want to say our nursing division, which handles a great deal of different things, which one of the bigger things is infectious disease reporting and control. TB screenings, STD and HIV testing. We do blood pressure checks, flu vaccines, which we offer free for 65 years of age to our East Chicago citizens. So please, this is prime peak time for flu. So please, the end of flu season, it ends March 31st, but this is really the peak right now, and we need to get you guys immunized. it helps. We also do health education, free blood lead testing for East Chicago residents, which we have been doing from day one, especially during our lead crisis. The nursing division has tested approximately 2,279 individuals. That includes adults and children. 499 were children 7 years of age and under. And out of that 499, only 7% tested positive. So with that being said, if you have not had your child tested, if you have not been tested for lead, please stop by our office. We are here to make sure that you are healthy and to educate you on everything that you need to know pertaining to lead. I have my nurse here, Suli, if you want to wave your hand. She is available for any questions. If you have any other questions or about our services or want to know any more information, you can stop by our table and I will be more than happy to assist you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, moving us right along. So that was our section that dealt with public safety and public health. And now we're going to get into quality of life. And again, near and dear to where you can take your families and you can do things together. I think very important. I'd like to give a round of applause for our Park and Recreation Director, Myra Acosta. Let's give her a very fantastic.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Myra Acosta. I'm the Director of the Parks and Recreation Department. It is my pleasure to be here today and tell you all the exciting things that are happening in my department. So I'm not sure if any of you have visited the greenhouse or if you were aware that we have a greenhouse, but let me tell you that we have a beautiful greenhouse. My staff works very hard in taking care of the tropical rooms, but we also grow our own organic vegetables. So 100% organic vegetables are being grown at the greenhouse, and they are free of charge to all the East Chicago residents. So admission to the greenhouse is free and the vegetables are free, so please make sure to visit our greenhouse. This year we will be investing $100,000 in doing some improvements to the greenhouse, and part of the reason is because we want to start growing our own flowers. So we will be taking care of that task this year. Another beautiful facility that we have is our golf course. So I'm not sure if any of you again have visited our golf course, but it's a beautiful facility. facility. We have the lowest prices in Northwest Indiana, and this year I am happy to announce that we were going to be doing some events at the golf course. So we're going to be doing a wine tasting and a beer tasting, so I welcome to come, show your support, come to our events. We also have 6 community centers. Roxana Center is one of those centers, and this year we will investing $130,000 to do some repairs and some paintings to the centers. So in April, we will be taking on the task to paint this whole Roxana Center. We will also be taking down the letters that say Roxana Elementary School, that I think that's overdue, and we're going to put a sign that says Roxana Community Center. $5 million have been invested in the parks. And I know that your next question is, well, what's happening with our park? Because the fence has been down for a while and there's not a lot of things that have been going on. So this year we will be fixing that park. We will be adding a walking trail, we will be fixing the fence, and in addition, because of safety reasons, we will be expanding the greenery in the park. I know right now, like for example, the kids in the community center, in order to get to the park, they have to walk through the parking lot. So we're going to extend that back area so the kids are able to leave the community center and walk directly to the park. What else? We do have new shelters, new playground equipment, new exercise machines, new walking trails at the other parks. So please come out this summer and enjoy those facilities. If you have any other questions, I'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll just add to that, you know, this road back here, we're going to be fixing the road as well. It may come up at the part of engineering, but there's going to be a total transformation again of this area. So we look forward to what's going to be happening in 2018 right here in this district. Okay, so moving us right along. Next coming up is the Director of Planning and Economic Development, Marino Solorio. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you. I just want to say a little bit about what my department does, but before I say that, I just want to let you know, with everything that's been going on in the city, this is the right time to be living in the city. It's the right time to invest in the city, it's the right time to open up a business in the city, it's the right time to even visit the city. So there's a lot going on in the city, as you know. A lot of money has been invested in our lakefront, in our parks, on our streets, everywhere, on our main corridors. So why I say all that is because my department handles a lot of that. A lot of the visioning of the city, even if you want to start a business, again, you have to start in my department. If you're trying to put up a sign for your business, you come to my department. So we're there for you. I wish it was 24 hours, 24/7, but that's obviously not the case. But we're going to be there as best as we can to answer any of your questions. If you're looking to put up a fence in your residential area, where fence application has to become, you have to come through my office also. And what we do is just to make sure that you're going to be building the fence accordingly, appropriately, and where you're not building the fence on someone else's property, etc. But a program I want to talk to you about that's near and dear at this point is the facade program. And it's specifically for businesses in the commercial corridors. You don't have to necessarily be in a commercial corridor, but our focus is in those areas, especially to enhance the aesthetic of these buildings. Some of them are a little bit outdated, some of them need help. So there are 2 programs, one on the rest of the city, which is a 50-50 program. The city puts in 50% of the investment up to $25,000. So if your project is $30,000 to fix the front of your building, city will put in 15, you will put in 15,000. It's a really good program. In the harbor, on the harbor side, in the main T corridor, which is Pulaski, Deodore, and 138th to Broadway, that's an 80-20 program. So it's a lot more aggressive. And what that is if you have a project of $10,000, city will put in 8,000, you put in 2,000. So it's a more aggressive campaign in that area. For those of you that have not been to that downtown, a lot is changing in that area. And so, again, my department, along with a lot of people in this team, were critical to creating that. And we want to thank Mayor Anthony Copeland for having the initial vision of trying to implement that plan. A lot of people 5 to 10 years ago would tell the mayor and the previous mayor, why are you investing money in that corridor? It's shot, you should just, pretty much, bulldoze it and, start over, things like that. It's not worth the investment. Well, it is. And as you see now with the new retail, we have CVS in that corridor now. All the buildings are actually occupied now, the new buildings that we built. We're looking to build a Fitzsimmons project, which, if you know what the Fitzsimmons building used to be or represent, all that's being torn down and built new for a $4 million project added to that. So anyway, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of good energy. So be a part of that. If you have any questions, my department is there to answer any questions, and we're there to help you. So, and if you want to start a business, I'm pro-business, so let's get going. Thank you.
I want to point out something briefly here that's very important, and I've talked to your councilman about this. There was the RDA, the city received a grant from the RDA for $39 million. And part of the RDA stipulations was that the RDA dictated that that money could only be spent on the North Harbor side of town and at the lakefront. So although it seemed that that side of town was getting a lot of attention, the city and the mayor was restricted in what we could do. We could not go south of Columbus. Well, if you read in the paper now, the RDA, by law, is now mandated and focusing on transit-oriented districts, transit development districts. So that puts Roxana, and that puts this district in the driver's seat to receive any new additional RDA funds. And again, I know the mayor doesn't like me to say his name as often, but we've been queuing this up for this district to get our TOD dollars from the RDA for years, and it takes us a number of years. So as you would talk about the street projects with the engineering department, but this area is next for some multi-million-dollar development from the RDA. So just stay tuned for that. I want to point that out to you as well. So that's another good thing for the city of Chicago. And you can give that a hand. That's all we're going to see. Okay, moving us right along. And again, as I said, this is quality of life. And when I bring this person up, I like to tell you, if this doesn't apply to you, if you have a neighbor, a relative, a niece, an aunt, or uncle, this department can help every individual household in the city. There is some service, some program, or something that you should be reaching out to our Department of Redevelopment to get more information as it can benefit your household. So our Director of Redevelopment, let's give him a hand, Mr. Frank Rivera. Very, very important to each and every household in the city.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Brown, the Executive Director of Redevelopment. A couple of things. We have the money. We're the money people. We're the ones that are going to give you money to fix your homes, do things in terms of what we offer. As a matter of fact, I look across the room. There's a couple of you who have done down payment assistance with us, and you know that was a good thing for you. Okay, the things that we offer, various different products that you see up in the front. I put a pamphlet. My staff put a pamphlet on your chair, so that you can follow along with me if you want. I figure it's got the money, that way you know where the money's at. Okay? So anyways, the City of East Chicago offers down payment assistance from home buyers interested in purchasing an existing, a reconstructed, or a newly reconstructed home. The home buyer who's purchasing a reconstructed or a new reconstructed or a home that in which you're thinking about buying, up to $10,000. We offer you $10,000. If you're a city employee, we offer you another $5,000. That's the incentive that the city has. So that's $15,000 total. You have to live in there as a primary residence for 5 years. Now, for a new home buyer who wants to buy a new home, we'll offer you $25,000. If you're a city employee, we offer you another $5,000. Now we're talking $30,000 in down payment assistance. And you have to live in that home for about 10 years. To receive the down payment assistance program, there's a home buyers program workshop that we ask for you to take. It's a requirement. It's 8 hours. It's on a Saturday, once a month. And we do have a telephone number that you can call for further information. It's 219-391-8513. And I have a staff member here also who can help you to give you more information. Her name is Loretta Parker, and she'll be back there helping you out as well. She just raised her hand right now. To receive down payment assistance funds, the home buyer is required to provide proof of residency each year. Eligible city employees must be a full-time for at least one particular year and that additional $5,000 will come along. Now, I'm a stats person. It's very important, follow along with me. From 2012 to 2017, under Mayor Anthony Copeland, we served 219 participants. Also, if you look at the pamphlet, total funds expended for fiscal year 2012 to 2017, $2,398,000. I'm trying to convince the mayor to allow me to spend $1 million a year so that way we serve more people, but that's up to the mayor. Okay? Exterior renovation facade program, that's another program that we have on the sunny side. To make this real short, we're trying to invest in that area to make sure that we're trying to improve the life and housing stock of that area. So now we're adding more to the viability of the area. Now, the thing is with this program, because we have duplexes, we offer $40,000 on one side and $40,000 on another, and even more. It just depends on what the program provides. Now, we also provide other information in terms of what we do there. We repair items including roofing, chimneys, flashing, soffits, crossfields, gutters, downspouts, brick pointing, siding, windows, exterior doors, cellar doors, stoops, railings, and other associated exterior items. In the back, when you come to see us to ask more questions, the list goes on, all the way up to electricity and all kinds of different things. We do not do foundations though, okay? That's a whole different structure there. Now, there is CDBG home funds, but I won't go through all that because it can take at least another half an hour. We have other presentations here, but in the pamphlet, you'll see there's 3 particular tiers there, and it's inclusive of low income, things of that nature, and give you some information. We do have a ramp program for those who might need a ramp, okay? And we also offer an emergency program. And one thing that we're working on, just like we're doing with Sunnyside, the facade program, is a Markstown, what we call the Markstown Renaissance Plan. It's the city of East Chicago. We recognize the importance of Markstown, and we want to be able to give the same type of resources that we are providing on the Sunnyside, same as for Markstown. So you'll be seeing that program popping up, and as Marino said, it's an exciting time, and as Milton was saying, we're going to invest a whole lot of money. Okay? So if you have any questions, please come see us in the back. We're there for your service. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Definitely see Frank in the back. I encourage you, and his staff has always been very, very helpful. So they can tag team back there. Okay, so moving us right along is, again, this is a department that touches us, and we may not know what they really do, but it definitely improves our quality of life. So, Will Allen, the director of our engineering department. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you, Milton. My name is William Allen, city engineer. Frank said that he's the money man, but he probably doesn't know about my budget then. Engineering department, what we basically do, we manage major construction projects, such as reconstruction projects, construction projects, and resurfacing. Some reconstruction projects that we've just recently done is the 4800 block and the 4900 block of Wig and the 5100 block of Reading. All 3 of those blocks had a total project cost of $1.5 million. Another major project that's going on right now is the 149th reconstruction project from White Oak all the way to Railroad. And basically what the reconstruction process is redoing the road completely. This involves the replacement of all main utilities, such as the water mains, the sewers, and then as well as touching on the top work, all the work on the surface. The water mains, usually what we do with those, we replace them and have them be ductile iron. They last longer, and we put them in at 8 inches or more. The sewers, depending on the demand, pardon me? 8 feet. 8 feet, I'm so sorry. 8 feet. With the sewers, we, depending on the demand, we use PVC or concrete. Some of the local roads, PVC, the main arteries such as 149th, we use concrete for those, heavy duty. We have a lot of aging infrastructure, so it's about time that we got to redoing all of it. Most of our infrastructure is over 100 years old, especially in this area of East Chicago. We mostly have brick sewers, which basically tells you, our infrastructure is dated. As far as the top work, this includes new concrete, such as curbs, sidewalks, and ADA ramps at the intersections of all the streets. Landscaping, such as sod, trees, and then plants. Some upcoming reconstruction projects in 2018, we have Walsh Avenue from 148 all the way to Koski. And this is supposed to be around a $3 million project. We also have Lagoon from 151st to Chicago Avenue. This is supposed to be a $3.5 million project. For our construction projects, this is basically community centers. We also have the US 12 pedestrian bridge that will be going up in 2019 with help from the state. This will be at the intersection of Columbus Drive and Alder Street. This project cost is estimated to be $2.4 million, currently being designed by the state. For our construction projects also, we have new infrastructures. Examples is the erection of bridges, buildings, and new trails. The Marquette Greenway Trail, which will follow the path of the southern border of Koski Park, head south down the Indianapolis Boulevard, across the street through the NIPSCO property, down to Michigan Street towards Hammond. Cities in this area have an obligation to complete their leg of the trail to establish a dedicated route up north to Chicago with a Lakeshore Drive or Lakefront. The purpose is to create a regional network of conservation corridors and buffers throughout Northwest Indiana. This trail is slated to be constructed in 2019 and has an estimated cost of over $1 million. Also in this area, we've been getting a lot of phone calls about the condition of the property that sits between the gas station and the Roxana Park. The parking lot as well as the alley will all be fixed up this year with new pavement. Everything will be leveled out so that your cars won't get damaged. Resurfacing projects also in this area, which is just mill and pave. The existing asphalt will be milled down at least, an inch and a half or more. 148th Street, 150th, 151st. These streets are estimated to cost $112,000. And then another major project in this area is Indianapolis Boulevard, which has a price tag of $14 million. And this is basically the whole stretch, from McShane Drive all the way down to Michigan Street. The state has already obligated money to resurfacing the remaining stretch. Our limit is 129, but they'll take care of that. And so this is basically the same lines with the reconstruction project. All main utilities will be assessed, replaced if needed. It's been determined that the water main needs to be replaced, portions of the sewer needs to be replaced, and then there'll be all new sidewalks, landscaping, and lighting. The road will be reduced from a 4-lane to a 3-lane. This scenario was brought to us by the state themselves. And this stretch will be from 152nd to Columbus Drive. And so there'll be 1 lane going in each direction and then a dedicated turn lane in the center of the road. Still giving people an opportunity to make a right-hand turn at the intersections as well as a left-hand turn from the middle of the road. Besides these projects, we also take care of a number of applications such as the handicap sign, the driveway application, heavy load, dumpster, and any work having to do with the right-of-way. So I encourage you to visit me at my table, which will be right there. If you have any questions, just hit me up. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Will. And again, I just want to reemphasize, it's about time we're going to get something majorly done with Indianapolis Boulevard. Whether you live in Indianapolis, it's been a tough time parking all these years. We're finally going to do it the right way. And I think that's what you said, Will, $13 million project. Right. So that's going to be great for the city, goes all the way through. To keep us moving, now we're going to have some very exciting things for us, quality of life again, at our marina. Let's give a warm welcome for our marina director.
Good evening again. My name is Natalie Adams. I have had the privilege and the pleasure to work in an environment with a fabulous view of Lake Michigan. Under the direction of Mayor Anthony Copeland, it is his goal that the citizens of East Chicago have a welcoming environment that they can also enjoy the tranquility of the water. As it has been stated, the lakefront and marina has received multi-million-dollar grant investments. At the marina, we have new state-of-the-art boat slips, that seasonal rental includes bathhouses with showers, laundry facilities, social and grilling areas. For the novice or the skilled fishermen, we have a great fishing pier and a very convenient fish cleaning station. We have 2 quaint banquet venue rentals that many people don't know about, with great views of the lake that seat 100 or 140 guests. So if you have a small party that you want to host, we do have space that you can rent that overlooks the water. You can hire your own caterer, or you can bring your own food. We are in conversations to get the Marina Bar and Grill back up and running, hopefully sometime this summer. We are also in conversations with something really exciting to have water rental activities like paddle boating and jet skiing, and it would be the first of its kind in Northwest Indiana. Right now you have to go to Illinois to get something like that of that nature. At George Park Beach at the lakefront, I don't know if any of you have been to the beach in the past year or two. We pride ourselves in keeping our beach very clean. We clean that sand 3 times a week, weather permitting. And we have systems in place to limit bird population on the beach during the summer. This effort has greatly reduced the bacteria that birds bring to every beach. There are designated propane grilling areas, public restrooms, phenomenal playground equipment, shelters that are also available for rent, and a free splash pad for kids to enjoy. We have ramps that make the beach handicap accessible, but we are also looking into adding additional access so that the handicapped, the disabled, can actually get out onto the sand. The beach is open Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend. In addition to my duties at the marina and the lakefront, I have the pleasure to serve on the special event committee, which consists of about 6 or 7 other department heads. With the mayor's support and commitment, we try to bring you great events throughout the year. Whether it is to the marina, the beach, or any of the special events, please come out, enjoy your city. Everything that we do is for you. If you have any questions or are looking for a place to have an event, come and see me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Okay, moving us right along. Next we will have our Water Department Director, Weena Guzman. Let's give Weena.
Thank you, Milton. Good evening. Again, my name is Weena Guzman, and I'm the Director of the Water Department. The city has commenced the first phase of its $18 million water distribution improvement project, which the first project being the lead line replacement project. The project goal is to improve water quality at the customer service taps, which existing lines are comprised of lead. The program commenced back in August of 2017, whereby a $1.2 million contract had been awarded to replace approximately 400 lead lines throughout the Superfund zoned areas 2 and 3. Currently, we are working in the Drummond Street areas and have completed approximately 133 homes thus far out of the 400 targeted as of February of this year. We ask that if you own a home within these areas, zones 2 and 3, and have not signed a consent form to replace your lead line, to do so as soon as possible. It is important to note that the work is at no charge to the property owner, because the mayor worked diligently with the state to obtain emergency funds for this project. Again, we have 400 homes targeted, and we urge those property owners in these 2 areas to take advantage of this, as you have a limited time to get this work done, and the contract for this project is to be completed in May of this year. I have the forms available at my table, and you can return these forms to me today, or you can bring them over to the Water Department or the Engineering Department, which is located at City Hall. The second major improvement that I would like to highlight is our meter replacement project, which entails installing a citywide uniform water metering system, replacing approximately 7,000 residential, commercial, and industrial type meters throughout the city, as the majority of our existing meters have been in service since the structures have been built and they have reached the end of their expected service life. I have on display at my table one of the older type meters that will be replaced with, I have Ben here. He's holding up one of the new meters. It's a master meter that has been built, that has built-in wireless technology and specialized leak detection technologies. Thank you, Ben. So if you'd like to see those meters, they'll be at my table. As we transition over to the new metering system, the water department will have the ability to remotely secure collections of metering directly from water meters. Basically, the readings will be transmitted from the meter to a designated tower, from the tower to base, eliminating the need of on-site readings. We have the ability to receive timely notifications such as reverse flow, leaks, tamper and theft alerts, as well as inactive meters. This will give us the ability to address these issues timely and notify the customers timely as well. We will have the ability to obtain hourly, monthly, yearly, and daily readings, and overall improve our operations, billing, and our customer services. I have on display at my station the My Water Advisor user guide that will be available to you once your new meter is installed, which will easily guide you to create an account and start viewing your account information. With this new technology, you will have access to view and track in real time and manage your water usage 24/7. You will be able to view and track your water usage on a daily, monthly, hourly, and yearly basis, just like our office will be doing, as well as be able to compare your usage to the surrounding neighbors. You will also be able to set up alerts that will notify you of leaks, over budget notifications, even when you're out of town, as well as forecasting your consumption. This is a very user-friendly app and will assist in our efforts to conserve water resources and enhance our customer services. The estimated investment for this project is approximately $3 million and is scheduled to commence during the third quarter of this year with an estimated completion date of 6 months. Upon award of the installation contract, an outreach program will commence to educate the public and commence the process to coordinate appointments for the installation of the new meters. To keep you apprised on these projects and other city-related improvements, we will be including some of this information in your water bills and as well as on the city's website. So make sure you keep an eye out for those inserts. I have available information on the water distribution improvement project and what I've talked about today at my table, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena. Okay, so again, everybody, appreciate your patience. We're wrapping up here. We're going to bring up two departments at once, and I often joke that this department doesn't get much credit until something goes down, but very important nevertheless. So I want to bring up our director of our IT department, Information Technology Department, Kevin Klosik, and our multimedia department, Director Steve Segura. Let's give them both a hand and talk about that first.
Thank you, Milton. Once again, my name is Kevin Klosik. I'm the Director of Information Technology for the city. I want to talk about a few of the projects that we have implemented throughout the city. The first two applications actually that we have made available, I'm going to let Steve Segura, our multimedia director, touch on them. They are social media applications that will allow the citizens to not only receive information, important information about ongoing events in the city, but also the opportunity to report anything that you might see that needs attention. So with that, I'll turn it over to Steve.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Segura from Multimedia. One of the first apps that we've had out for a little while is called our EC Works 311 app. It's real simple. You can get it off of the App Store on Google or on the the Apple Store. It looks just like this. It's very simple. You can reach the mayor, the council, City Hall, TCTV, our Facebook page, or report anything happening in your community. It has a camera. You can send a message directly to the department. It's a good way for us to track how long it took for the department to actually address the issue. And it gives us a good way to keep track of all issues that you may report. You'll get a notification as well once it's been acknowledged, and they'll let you know when the issue has been taken care of. One of our second apps that it's not really an app, but it's a service that we implemented this year is called Nixle. A lot of our neighboring communities down in Crown Point and South County have used them. It's very effective. It's real simple. I want everyone, if you're interested in knowing what's going on in East Chicago, whether it be an emergency or an event, it could be a street closure, it could be a notice about this meeting. Just simply take your phone out. I want everyone to take the phone out. If you haven't had a chance to do it now, you can't say you haven't been informed about something, because guess what? You're gonna get the notice right here. And all you have to do is text. You go 888-777, and in the body of your text, you just type EC Events, and that's it. You can opt out at any time, so if you're not interested in it anymore, you just say stop. And then if you want it again, you just say sign it up again. So it's real simple. Hope you guys use this tool. It's very important. I love it.
And it's free.
And you'll get it from me, and it's free. 888-777 EC Events.
Thank you, Steve. The next two items I want to talk about are a couple of projects that were implemented in the city within the last couple of years. The first being our security, enhanced camera security project. About 2 years ago, the city and the mayor made a decision to invest $1.5 million into improving our camera security system throughout the city. So within the last 2 years, we've installed throughout the city roughly 700 high-speed, high-definition cameras. These cameras are installed throughout a lot of our major public facilities in the city, major intersections throughout the city, and all of our parks throughout the city. We haven't stopped there. The mayor had mentioned that he wanted to continue with this. So currently, there are dollars being invested in here in Roxana. Any Roxana residents probably received a letter from the mayor that we're currently installing 25 cameras throughout the neighborhood of Roxana and 25 cameras throughout the neighborhood of the West Calumet. So we're working towards furthering the opportunities of security throughout the city. As Chief Smith alluded to, these cameras have paid tremendous dividends thus far, with a lot of what they've been able at the police department to be able to utilize this for. And our goal is to continue to move forward with the security opportunities throughout the city. And this is just one project that is enhancing that. The second project is, if you pick up the paper, read the paper periodically, you read about communities throughout Northwest Indiana, throughout Porter County. There are communities that are planning and looking to build high-speed fiber optic networks throughout their city for both enhanced communications for city use as well as economic development. And they're all boasting to be able to be the first to have that completed in Northwest Indiana. Well, I have the pleasure of telling them to get in line, because the city of East Chicago has invested $1.7 million and completed, excuse me, roughly 17 miles of high-speed fiber optic network throughout the city. That investment is paying dividends.
with the camera network that I just mentioned. 99% of those cameras are riding on the high-speed fiber backbone throughout the city that the city owns. We're not paying Comcast, AT&T, anybody for the opportunity to utilize high-speed technology. The other part of the investment is economic development. We're currently working with a company to come in and manage some of that fiber so that it's made available for high-speed fiber services throughout a vast majority of our business district, which is where the fiber centers through. And even possibly in the future, the management company investing in expanding that into the residential neighborhoods and giving you an opportunity to acquire internet, high-speed internet, phone, video services at a very competitive rate as to what's available to you now. We also are expanding through the fiber network. We utilize, we did a couple of test spots. I think the Plaza Park in Indiana Harbor and the beach. We had put free Wi-Fi hotspots out there, and this spring we're going to continue that through all the parks and some of the other public areas. So you'll be able to take advantage of that, communication that way as well. So with that, if anyone has any questions or anything, we'll definitely be available for you after the show. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Kevin. That was our last presenter for the night, and we're going to get into the question and answer period here in 1 second. But what I do want to do is, again, we have a lot of people here, so we're going to give everybody a chance for one question. If there are follow-ups, you can go to anybody in the station, so please be mindful of that. I have a microphone, but, really, who makes all this go around and who really, all of us, we know our individual areas, and I may know a little bit about some of the areas, but I tell you what, our mayor is hands-on. He knows about every single department, every single area. He takes care and concern over all of his staff. So I just want him to close us out and open up our question and answer period. Let's give him one more round of applause. He really does.
Thank you very much. As you can see, these are some exciting times in the city of East Chicago. We have leveraged all of our casino dollars. When we first started off, we got annually roughly around $18 million from the casino. And when we first started, 13 million of that was used to shore up the budget. Now we use $0 of the gaming to shore up the budget. And this is why you're starting to see projects going, because the true reason for the casino revenue was for infrastructure. And we're starting to put that money from quality of life things to investing in a new home ownership, to quality of life things across our parks. But like I said, these are very exciting times, and there's no I in the word team. You've heard from my team to the left and to the right of me. I'm going to take this opportunity now to open questions to the floor, Milton.
Okay, so if you raise your hand, I'll come over. Let me come over here first, and I'll come right back. All right. Yeah, so if you can state your name and maybe your address.
My name is Rick Velasco, 5502 Wake Avenue. I've been a resident of Roxana for over 10 years now. During that time, I've counted 6 times we've been flooded in our streets. We've complained. I've went to the sanitation board meeting before, and only one person really offered any help. I'll say the bad. First the good, then the bad. Okay. And Tina was the first one that asked us to put it in writing. But we went ahead and I sent pictures in 311. 2 board members, one board member told me, well, I flood too. That's not the response we want to hear. Some of those board members have been there since past. Okay, we got some young blood in there. She had a correct response. The other guy, I just voted yeah because I was sick, so I don't even know what I voted for. I just voted yeah. But I've counted, I've sent pictures, I still got pictures from 2016. The responses I've been told is too much rain. Now it's tree roots that are going on there. This past summer again, we almost had to park on our yards because of the flood. So either, I don't know what size sewer lines, the minimum is 8 inch, the largest is 12 inch. So I don't know if we don't have enough pumps. We're hearing a lot of excuses, but nothing has changed. And on my block alone, there has been 6 people moving. If you count in Roxana, there's at least 20 homes that went up for sale. When I first moved over there was only 2 people selling their homes.
You're making good points. I want you to get to your question. All right.
Well, that's a question.
No, I don't want to take away.
I'd like to see our sanitation board change, and I'd also like to get this problem solved.
Okay.
This is going on too long.
Let me let the mayor address this. Thank you for your point.
Well,
Thank you.
again, I think you can see, especially here on the south side, you can see all the major infrastructure work that we're doing. When you look at, just to do a half a block, you're looking at $1 million to do 1 block, $1 million. So you see it's not cheap. But you can see that on this south side, we have acknowledged that you have major sewer problems. And this is why you're seeing us doing major work in this area. Because we did analysis across the city, and we did not politicize it. We saw where the major problem was, and it was on this side of town, and that's what you're starting to see, these major projects. And I know we can't do it fast enough, but if you give us time, we will do all the major infrastructure work on this side of town, because we know this is the #1 priority, because this was the #1 targeted area where we saw the most problems, from total collapse to partial collapse, and to the older pipes being infiltrated with roots. So all I can tell you is just be patient with us, and we will get it done.
All right, next question.
And like I say, you can, I think even driving in here, you see major work being done.
Major Copeland, I definitely don't have any questions, but I do have a comment. I just want to say I'm so impressed with you and what your staff have done for East Chicago. And I've been over here a lot lately, but just sitting here now, I'm really so impressed. And I just want to thank you and your staff for what you've done. And I do have relatives in East Chicago, from Opelika, Alabama, and other parts of Alabama, but I just want to say thank you, and I'm impressed. Thank you.
Thank you. And the best is yet to come.
Thank you for your comments. Any more questions? Show of hands. Okay, a question right here. You can state your name and where you're from.
My name is Angela Rice. I actually live in Maryville, and I echo what he says. I was actually born in Chicago, right here in St. Catherine's. I want to move back now.
Yeah.
And actually, my question is, do you have any lakefront development for residential going on?
No. Our lakefronts will be used for just quality of life type pleasure things. But I can tell you what Dorothy said. She clicked the heels and she says no place like home. So come on back.
Yeah, and Mary, when she comes back and buys, she'll be in the redevelopment program.
And then you can, if you build a new home, you qualify for $25,000 down payment assistance, and you buy an existing one, you get $10,000.
Okay, any more questions? Any more questions? Okay, we have a question over here, and again, if you're not comfortable asking your question in this format, we're going to line the room after this, and you can go one-on-one for your individual time. You can get a phone number, and it can be addressed tomorrow. If you don't have time tonight, do not leave here without the proper contact that you need. Here's another question.
Good evening, Mayor. I appreciate you having this town hall, and hopefully after this year you one every month as well, because it's really good information. I have multiple questions, but obviously I can only ask one right now. But one of my concerns was, like everyone else, was with the tragedy that happened yesterday in Florida. Does East Chicago have a plan? God forbid it ever happens. I hope it never happens. I want my daughter. You met my daughter. I want my daughter to be raised in Chicago. I want my daughter to go to school in East Chicago. But I want to know, does East Chicago have a plan just in case some nut job tries to do what they did in Florida? Do you guys have a plan that you guys are working with the schools? Because like I said, when a kid goes to school, they should be at their safest. So I want to know, Do you guys have a plan for that? And I got multiple questions for everyone else. I'll just gonna bother you guys a little bit.
Well, I tell you, it falls under emergency management, and the sad thing is those type of events, you never know when they're going to happen. We pride ourselves with our police department with the technology and stuff that we have and that we've been installing. Right now, Chief, don't we have police officers working up at Central?
Yes, sir. We have police officers, some of them are retired, some of them are active, that actually works in the school. So that kind of gives us a hand up on things, especially the relationships that they have with the kids within the schools. We just had a meeting last night in reference to active shooters, something we will be putting on ourselves in another coming month. So we're trying to get ahead of the plan, but we're more than well aware that this can happen anywhere, and we want to be prepared. But we're working on that as we speak, sir.
All right, any more questions? Let me make sure I come over to this side. Anyone here? Okay, again, we want to thank everyone for coming out, Mayor.
Were you saying something, Beverly?
No.
Oh, no.
Okay. I just had one question. I don't know if we would go
Sure,
through.
absolutely.
Just a simple question, and I'm not trying to make a problem here.
No.
Do you still have the large plows out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I never saw, all I saw were the little pickup trucks with their plows, and I just wondered if they did away with the big giant ones.
No.
Okay.
Mr. Sadler, please come up and speak on that, please.
Good evening, Keith Selby, Public Works Director. Yes, ma'am, we do still have our larger plows. Typically, we assign, depending on the street size, the bigger ones go down the bigger streets, and then they break off after they finish the main route. If you want to come back to our back table, I can show you the actual routes. The smaller trucks hit the residence areas. The reason being is typically the cars. Dipping in and out of the cars, trying to get the snow as close to the curb as possible. So we can put a big truck down, it'll just go down the center, and it'll create those big mounds up against your cars that we've encountered for the last couple of days. So I like to dedicate the small ones toward the residents just so we can get in and out and move that snow as quickly as possible.
And also to add to that, Beverly, we just invested $1.5 million in new trucks that will be hitting the streets any month now.
Okay, so I think we have something over here.
Oh, okay.
Spit this and see who's our lucky resident today.
Well, if she's Vanna White, then I must be Pat Sajin. Mr. Glenn Johnson. Go ahead, take a draw.
I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah. Give it to the wife. Next, look at what I'm laughing because I'm looking right at him. Bart Alamo.
Thanks, Cole. That's what I need to.
Steve Abeda. All right. And these gifts right here was donated to us by Ameristar, so it's the city, East Chicago and Ameristar. They were very generous to us. They found out we was gonna do the town hall meetings, and then like they gave us a whole pallet. I mean a pallet, this all and that wide, full of gifts to give out at the town hall.
Yeah, Ameristar has been a good corporate partner for the city.
I don't believe this, Mr. Richard Liggins. Eddie Banda. I'm laughing again because I'm looking at the person. Rolando Velasco.
When you say hi, you don't say hi no more? Oh, I didn't hear you say hi, man.
Jose Rivera.
I didn't know you were sitting behind me until you called your name.
Yeah, you see when I walked in, you looked at me.
Jackie Brown.
I didn't see it.
Cesar Perez. Some guys have all of them.
Go, Caesar.
Well, and women too. Beverly Armenta.
I just thought something different. I said, oh, thank you.
All right, we got 2 more left. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. This troublemaker. This is my friend all the way from grade school, Rudy Velasco. Got Angela Rice. Again, thank you very much.
Okay, so that's it. So we'll ask our department to please take your stations. Again, thank you for your time, thank you for your attention, and we look forward to talking to you further.
Join Mayor Anthony Copeland for an informative session concerning city progress and concerns in your districts. Meetings will be held on the 3rd Thursday of every month. The town hall meeting dates and times are as follows. The 2nd District will be February 15th at the Roxana Center at 900 Shell Street. The 4th District will be March 15th at the Public Safety Building, 2301 Columbus Drive. 5th District will be April 19th at the Roberto Clemente Center at 3616 Elm Street. The 6th District will be May 17th at the Hunter Building at 3625 Pulaski Street. The 1st District will be June 21st at City Hall at 4525 Indianapolis Boulevard. And the 3rd District will be July 19th at Riley Park at 100 West Chicago Avenue. All the meetings start at 5:30 p.m. and end at 7 p.m. Dates and locations are subject to change. Join Mayor Anthony Copeland for an informative session concerning city progress and concerns in your districts. Meetings will be held on the 3rd Thursday of every month. The town hall meeting dates and times are as follows. The 2nd District will be February 15th at the Roxana Center at 900 Shell Street. The 4th District will be March 15th at the Public Safety Building, 2301 Columbus Drive. 5th District will be April 19th at the Roberto Clemente Center at 3616 Elm Street. The 6th District will be May 17th at the Hunter Building at 3625 Pulaski Street. The 1st District will be June 21st at City Hall at 4525 Indianapolis Boulevard. And the 3rd District will be July 19th at Riley Park at 100 West Chicago Avenue. All the meetings start at 5:30 p.m. and end at 7 p.m. Dates and locations are subject to change. Join Mayor Anthony Copeland for an informative session concerning city progress and concerns in your districts. Meetings will be held on the 3rd Thursday of every month. The town hall meeting dates and times are as follows. The 2nd District will be February 15th at the Roxana Center at 900 Shell Street. The 4th District will be March 15th at the Public Safety Building, 2301 Columbus Drive. 5th District will be April 19th at the Roberto Clemente Center at 3616 Elm Street. The 6th District will be May 17th at the Hunter Building at 3625 Pulaski Street. The 1st District will be June 21st at City Hall at 4525 Indianapolis Boulevard. And the 3rd District will be July 19th at Riley Park at 100 West Chicago Avenue. All the meetings start at 5:30 p.m. and end at 7 p.m. Dates and locations are subject to change. Join Mayor Anthony Copeland for an informative session concerning city progress and concerns in your districts. Meetings will be held on the 3rd Thursday of every month. The Town Hall meeting dates and times are as follows. The 2nd District will be February 15th at the Roxana Center at 900 Shell Street. The 4th District will be March 15th at the Public Safety Building, 2301 Columbus Drive. 5th District will be April 19th at the Roberto Clemente Center at 3616 Elm Street. The 6th District will be May 17th at the Hunter Building at 3625 Pulaski Street. The 1st District will be June 21st at City Hall at 4525 Indianapolis Boulevard. And the 3rd District will be July 19th at Riley Park at 100 West Chicago Avenue. All the meetings start at 5:30 p.m. and end at 7 p.m. Dates and locations are subject to change. Join Mayor Anthony Copeland for an informative session concerning city progress and concerns in your districts. Meetings will be held on the 3rd Thursday of every month. The Town Hall meeting dates and times are as follows. The 2nd District will be February 15th at the Roxana Center at 900 Shell Street. The 4th District will be March 15th at the Public Safety Building, 2301 Columbus Drive. 5th District will be April 19th at the Roberto Clemente Center at 3616 Elm Street. The 6th District will be May 17th at the Hunter Building at 3625 Pulaski Street. The 1st District will be June 21st at City Hall at 4525 Indianapolis Boulevard. And the 3rd District will be July 19th at Riley Park at 100 West Chicago Avenue. All the meetings start at 5:30 p.m. and end at 7 p.m. Dates and locations are subject to change.